Dear students, in this video I am going to discuss about formation of PQLI, some positive and important aspects about PQLI and limitations of PQLI. First of all, let us see how PQLI is formed. Every indicator is given 100 weights. See, there are three indicators in PQLI: extent of education, life expectancy and infant mortality rate. So all these three indicators are given 100 equal weights. Okay, say for example, if you consider them to be your three subjects, so just like each subject has 100 marks, maximum 100 marks, here also these three indicators are given 100 weights. Now, on the basis of performance of that determinant in that country is graded between 0 to 100. So just like how is your performance in each subject, and accordingly the marks are being given, similarly how these determinants have performed in country, and on that basis each determinant is being graded from 0 to 100. Now a total of these three grades are summed up. So whatever is the total of these three factors, it is summed up. This total is divided by 3 to derive an average. Now because there are three factors only, so whatever is the total, this total is then divided by 3. Like how to find out average, as you all know that whatever is the total is divided by the number of observations. So here also there are three factors, so whatever is the total of these three factors, it is to be divided by 3, and thus an average is derived. The data so derived is identified as PQLI, and this average what is derived is known to be PQLI. Now talking about certain important aspects about PQLI, closer to 100 better is the performance of all the three indices of PQLI. Definitely if you are getting marks which are closer to 100, or you are getting percentage which is closer to 100, therefore we may conclude that performance is better in that particular subject, or your overall performance is better. So here also, if value of PQLI is closer to 100, we may conclude that all the three indices or all the three indicators have performed very well. Similarly, closer to 0, or if you are far from 100, then we may conclude that bad is the performance of all three indices of PQLI. PQLI is always between 0 to 100. That means it cannot be less than 0 and it cannot be more than 100. PQLI can also be used to compare two states or two countries. PQLI of one country, say for example India, may be compared with PQLI of some other country. Similarly, PQLI of one state in India, say for example Gujarat, can be compared with another state in India, say for example Maharashtra. Higher the PQLI, more is the economic development. So if value of PQLI is higher, we may conclude that economic development is also high. But if PQLI is lower, then economic development is also less. Now a few positive aspects regarding PQLI. First one, PQLI includes factors which touch the standard of human life, because it includes factors like education, life expectancy, that is regarding health. So all these factors are such which are very much important in human life. Second one, PQLI is a better index when compared to the per capita income, as PQLI has less drawbacks against national income as well as per capita income. So we may say that it is better than per capita income index. With PQLI, comparison can be made between different countries and different states. Just as stated earlier also, that with the help of PQLI we can make a comparison between two different countries or even between two different states of a same country. PQLI can be created for urban rural areas, females, males, and a comparison can be done. Not only this, even PQLI can be created for urban as well as rural areas. and then a comparison can be made that uh, how PQLI is performing in urban areas and how PQLI is performing in rural areas, and whose performance is better. Also, PQLI can be derived for males and females, and a similar comparison can be done. Now, lastly, talking about a few limitations of PQLI. First one, only three aspects are included in calculating PQLI. It is necessary to include other factors also to the existing ones. So as we know that there are only three factors, and on that basis we cannot say that a country has actually developed or not. So to get a better picture, we should also include a few other factors rather than the existing ones. PQLI is in the form of average. Decisions cannot be made on the basis of averages. Now, a sum total of the three indicators is obtained, and then it is divided by 3 to get an average. So PQLI is actually an average. So decisions cannot be made on the basis of these averages, because average of these three aspects does not show that which indicator has performed well, or which indicator has still not performed well, or rather it is still backward in our country. It is not right to give equal weightage to all indicators. See, because all three aspects do not have same importance in human life, so it is not right to give equal weightage to all the three indicators. Growth of income has been ignored. Here in this PQLI, we are just talking about life expectancy, infant mortality rate, which are related to health of a person, and extent of education, which is again related to literacy. But there is no inclusion of income in any of the indicators. So here, because income is ignored, so this is not possible. And lastly, the PQLI of rich countries rise at a slower rate. See, because average life expectancy cannot increase beyond a particular limit. Okay, so if life expectancy cannot increase, and therefore the performance of that indicator will be low, and due to this we may get a low PQLI. Therefore, it is said that PQLI of developed countries or rich countries will rise at a slower rate.